What up, reader fam? Today I'm going to be discussing with you my least favorite books of 2016. That means it's time for another controversial video. Hey. I just want to start off by saying that I read so many great books this year, and I will soon have a video up of my favorite books of 2016. But with reading a lot of good books also comes a lot of not so great books. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 books that I really didn't enjoy that much this year. I also want to say that just because I didn't like these books doesn't mean it's not okay for you to like these books. If you like these books, that's great. I'm so glad that you enjoyed them. I wish that I would have. Me not liking these books does not change your opinion about those books. You're still allowed to like them. The first book on my list technically isn't a book, it's a novella bind-up for the Red Queen series, and that is Cruel Crown by Victoria Aveyard. This novella bind-up contains Queen Song and Steel Cars, and I really did not enjoy this novella bind-up. I honestly finished it and I was like, what was even the point of this novella bind-up? I did enjoy the first novella in here, which is Queen Song, because we get more of a background on the character Queen Coriane, I think that's how you say her name. Her character was kind of a mystery up until reading this novella about her, so it was really nice to kind of get a background story on who she is and what she's all about. But the second one was just confusing and messy and repetitive and just not that great, and this and that, and I did not really enjoy it. I just didn't feel like this novella bind-up really added that much to the Red Queen series. I think the only thing that it really added was giving more of a background on Queen Coriane's character, like I said, but other than that, I really didn't see a point in these novellas. I don't know if I'm the only one that felt this way, but you guys should let me know down below if you've read Cruel Crown and if you felt the same way, because it would be nice to know that I'm not alone in this. Next up, I've got Miss Mayhem by Rachel Hawkins. This is the second book in the Rebel Belle trilogy, and I was just so underwhelmed with this book, and I'm really upset about it. I had been told that this book wasn't going to be as good as the first book, but I always like to form my own opinions, not just go off what other people are saying. I like to find things out for myself, and still give books a chance if they're given a low rating. But I finished this book and I understand why everyone was saying that it's not as good as the first book, because it's not as good as the first book. I'm just so disappointed because Rebel Belle was so good and it had so much potential to get even better, but it missed its opportunity and failed at being a great follow-up book. Mind you, I still had a lot of fun reading this book, but it does not compare to the first book, Rebel Belle. It really just felt like a filler book, like we're using this book to get to the finale. And that just made me super sad because I expected so much more out of this book. Next on my list is Ask Me How I Got Here by Christine Pepperman. This is a contemporary story written in verse, and it follows this girl who gets pregnant in high school and all the things that come with that. I felt like this book had the opportunity to be really powerful and insightful, but it really missed that opportunity. Our main character does face a lot of tough decisions along her journey in being pregnant, but I was just expecting so much more out of this book and I found it really underwhelming. The plot was kind of super messy and just all over the place, and there was also this major disconnect with the characters. It was so hard to care for them at all. And don't even get me started on the ending. I finished it and I was just like, is that it? Was there a printing error? Did they forget to print the ending? Because it just ends so abruptly. Also, this book just covers something that I am not a fan of at all, and that is cheating. I am not a fan of cheating. It's not cool to cheat on your loved one, people, so don't do it. All in all, I just really didn't enjoy this book that much. Next on my list is The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I was super excited about this book because I loved A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, but I quickly found out that this book does not compare at all to A Monster Calls. This book is basically like a contemporary story that takes place in kind of a fantasy world. It's basically about how there are always the chosen one and how they have these epic stories, but then there's also the rest of the people, and this book follows the rest of the people, the normal people. There are definitely things in this book that I enjoyed. I enjoyed the fact that it's diverse. I enjoyed that it tackles some different topics throughout the story. I'm blanking on what those topics are right this second. And I also really enjoyed the sections we did get that were focused on the chosen ones. But other than that, I just really did not enjoy this book, and I think one of the main factors in that is me not really loving the characters. I did find their story to be interesting, but I just didn't care enough about the characters. And I also just got to the end of this book, finished it, and I was just like, you know, I'm not sure this book was worth my time, unfortunately. I wasn't satisfied with the way that it ended at all. I also just felt like Patrick Ness could have done so much more with this story concept, because the story concept is so cool. Like, once I heard about this story, I was like, I gotta get that and I gotta read it. But then I read it and I was just so underwhelmed underwhelmed. I was expecting so much more out of it, but unfortunately that was not the case with this book. And finally, the last book on my list is one that I am nervous to even have on this list because I don't want to receive a lot of hate. But again, I want to repeat the fact that just because I didn't like this book doesn't mean that you're not allowed to like it. You are more than allowed to like it. If you liked it, I'm so happy. And I had fun with this book, but I just didn't love it. And that is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Don't hate me, don't hate me, don't hate me. Like I said, I enjoyed this book. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I just can't compare this book to the rest of the Harry Potter series. Like, this book did not have a powerful impact on me like the Harry Potter series did. There were just so many things that I disliked about it that outweighed the things that I did like about it. For example, I felt like some of the characters just didn't seem like themselves. There were some plot holes, and I just didn't like how certain things went down within the story. But again, like I said, it's a-okay if you like this book. I just wasn't a huge fan. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on this book, then I will leave a link down below to my full video book review, because I kind of go into more full detail as to why I wasn't a huge fan of this book. So those are 5 books that I was kind of disappointed by this year. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous about posting this video. You guys should let me know down below a book that you were super excited for in the year of 2016, and then you read it and you were just super disappointed by it. Let me know down below. Also, if you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so click subscribe if you want to be notified for when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye. Choo. What up, Reader fam? Today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 series that I do not plan to finish.